Hi there, Scott again with Rendall Certified Cleaning Services. Another question that we're asked very often is, how do I keep my carpet fluffy? Oftentimes they walk into their home and the carpet's flattened out in the traffic areas and it doesn't bounce back up. Well, a couple of things happen. First of all, if your pad is worn out, that means that there's not as much cushion there. So when you're walking on your carpeting, the fibers are actually rubbing and agitating across that hard surface where the pad used to be really soft and springy, and now it's causing abrasion onto those fibers. So that's number one, is make sure that you have a good pad and that it's still in good condition. Second of all, make sure your carpeting is a good quality carpeting. We recommend nylon with a good twist to it, as opposed to, say, a polyester where the fibers are still twisted, but the retention isn't as good. So what happens is the retention is just naturally less forgiving. It's less springy than nylon. And so what happens is you walk on it, the longer the carpeting too, like they used to call it a shag. A lot of times now, these longer friezes will actually lay down and they'll just stay there because the pad's good, but this retention of the fiber itself is not good. So those are the two things to help keep your carpet fluffy. Another thing is to make sure that it's cleaned often. When we clean carpeting, we're removing the soil that a lot of times is stuck down because the soil will stick to the carpeting. It makes it heavier, and also some of that residue that's in there from just bringing stuff from the outside will cause it to attract more soil and stick to each other. So now you got a combined, or perhaps the pad's a little bit worn out in the traffic lanes, maybe the carpet's a little bit worn out, and now you're adding to it the soil load factor where these fibers are just they're just bent over because they're top heavy, and the retention might still be there, but oftentimes it'll wear out over time and that retention's gone too. One way to check is to look at the fiber itself, get way down deep, and look to see what it looks like, to see if that fiber has a nice tight spring to it, a nice tight twist to it rather, that it goes all the way up and that it's not fuzzed out at the end. If it's fuzzed out at the end, then those things can act like Velcro and actually catch the fibers next to it. So when they lay down, they catch the fibers, they don't spring back up. When you vacuum it, it looks good, but it doesn't stay like that because as soon as you walk on it, those little Velcro fibers are sticking to the ones next to them and laying it down. So that's really the best ways to keep your carpet fluffy. A good quality carpet nowadays should last 15 years or so, with a good quality pad that is. So just make sure that you're on top of your vacuuming schedule, and also your professional cleaning schedule. Again, we recommend every 12 to 18 months. If it's a carpet you use often, the traffic lane should be done every year. If it's an area like a bedroom off to the side that's only used a couple of times a year, 18 months would be fine. So there you have it. That's how you keep your carpet fluffy.